This is all my fault.
No, Katara, it isn't.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Hey, hello, how do you do? Shady Durags here, the waterbending scroll. Team Avatar decides that since they're now on a ticking clock, it's better that Aang gets started on his waterbending practice as soon as possible, even without a master. Katara begins teaching Aang what little she knows about waterbending, but gets jealous when it turns out that Aang is a natural and instantly surpasses her in skill. When the Boomerang Squad come across some local pirates, Katara takes it upon herself to steal their waterbending scroll, claiming it's better in the group's hands than the pirates. Hearing about Katara's thievery, Zuko teams up with the pirates and together they devise a plan to capture the Avatar as well as get back the scroll. Welcome to the first anti-Katara episode. That is, this is the first episode where the show doesn't want us to side with Katara's actions. Episodes like these help push characters away from Mary Sue status. Aang and Sokka already had their first anti-episodes in the Warriors of Kyoshi. Here, Katara is completely selfish and bratty, going as far as to yell at Aang immediately after he tries to help her.
See, the key to bending is—
Will you please shut your air hole? Believe it or not, your infinite wisdom gets a little old sometimes.
Now, some of you are probably expecting a rant of sorts since I made it clear that I don't like Katara, and this is her being presented as unlikable, but I actually don't have much to say about her here, mainly because it goes without saying. I don't really need to point out Katara's lying and stealing is a bad thing when the episode does it for me. While I don't necessarily approve of her actions, I actually like that Katara stole the scroll for selfish reasons, but tries to justify herself by saying that because she did bad acts specifically to bad people, that makes it okay. It's an excuse I could see anyone making, including myself. And I also like how Sokka rightly calls out that none of that matters because even if it was true, that's not why Katara did what she did. She was being selfish.
Sokka, where do you think they got it? They stole it from a waterbender.
It doesn't matter. You put all of our lives in danger just so you could learn some stupid, fancy splashes.
The only thing I will say that I don't like about Katara here is that I think the episode is the slightest bit too forgiving of her. Despite everything in this episode being her fault, Katara is still allowed to get the last laugh at the end of the episode.
What did you learn?
Stealing is wrong. Unless it's from pirates.
Moving on, it's worth noting that this episode is a lot of firsts of things we'll get to see later. It's the first time we get to see the White Lotus, the first appearance of the pirates, the first time we see the water whip, the first use of the bison whistle, which they never explain why it didn't work the first time, and of course, it's Aang's first time waterbending outside his avatar state. However, Aang being able to not only instantly bend water flawlessly, but do it better than Katara, who's been practicing for years, yeah.
I'm ready for the next challenge.
There's a part of me that thinks there was a missed opportunity here to say Iroh pretended not to know where his tilepiece was because he was trying to subtly lead Zuko to Aang. But in hindsight, what would be the point of that other than to show Iroh is wise and mysterious, which we already know? Last thing I want to say is that I do like how Sokka was perfectly fine cleaning Appa's toes. Appa is a part of the team, he needs love and care, and this showed Sokka is not afraid to do a bit of work. I know this is going to be a relatively short video, but I honestly don't have much to say about this episode. It's got all the fun and charm you'd expect from Atla, and even a good bit of progression in character, lore, and plot. It's just that everything worth mentioning, the episode kind of does on its own. This has been Shady Durags. So long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.